Hello everybody and welcome to day 6 of the road to Knoxville on Speed Stories. Now the first day was about California, the second day was all about Arizona, and so too was the third day. Then we moved our way further east towards Oklahoma.
Yes.
Caught up with Shane Carson, had a fantastic time with Shane, and today we're going to continue our focus on the Sooner State and catch up with former World of Outlaws champ, superstar racer Andy Hillenburg, who has some remarkable records for consistency and was absolutely one of the greats of the sport and a really fantastic character. Also on the program today, what else are we going to do? We're going to look back at Mildura
Speedway.
Yeah, the hometown of where I live, B&S Earthworks Timmis Speedway in Mildura. What's that all about? We're going to rip by Casey's General Stores and grab a nos or two, and we're constantly in search of the perfect breakfast.
Yes.
Michael let the side down a couple of days ago. We're going to try and improve on that. So let's kick the show off right now with one of the most fantastic guys in all of sprint car racing, Andy Hillenburg. So guess which workshop we are in on the road to Knoxville today. One of the baddest, arsest outlaws there ever was, Andy Hillenburg. Thank you for coming on the road to Knoxville, mate.
Oh, you're welcome. It's going to be fun.
How long has it been since you've been behind the wheel of a sprint car?
It was, let's see, November of 2001. So however long ago that was.
And you pretty well got to the point where you just knew that that was going to be your last year.
Yeah, we did. It's just, it was just a long time, you know. I was out there for 17 years and had kids at home and getting older, and we lost our sponsorship and things. That's about the way it happened. It was just time to quit.
Yeah, and you were saying you were at Lernerville or something like that, and you just sort of went, this is it?
Yeah, we were at Lernerville and it was raining again, and we just decided that was, you know, that was it. I decided we were going to quit, and we stuck with it, and I haven't been in one since. And
your wife said at the time, you've bumped your head, you're not going to quit.
Yeah, I told her, I said, I'm done, I'm going to quit. And she said, oh, you bumped your head, you ain't going to quit, you'll never quit. And I said, yeah, watch this, we're going to.
Well, it's probably one of the smartest decisions you ever made, but I wish you hadn't, because it was always good having you in the series, mate.
Well, it was fun. I mean, it was some great times. We had some really good times, and I had some really good friends, and unfortunately lost a couple, and but it was great. I would do it all over again.
So a lot of the best stuff happens on the road, doesn't it, between the races, as much as it happens at the track?
It does, and it seems like the older you get, the better it is, you know, with your friends, and you find out really who your friends are. And so we've had some good times. Steve and I have really had some good times over the years, so I do miss that end of it. And
you had 3 of the most iconic liveries in outlaw racing. I mean, the STP car was that was a super deal at the time. Whether it was as big as it looked huge for the sport. It was great. It was great, and it was really good for the sport because of who was behind it. Those guys at First Brands, they were total race people. Every product they had was on a race car somewhere. And you know, we had Richard along, as he was starting his driving school, and that went on the front wing, and that was some fun times, really fun times. The black and gold leaf stuff, though, I mean, the Krishna trucking car, the Lux Air car, as you said, everybody associated you after the STP with black and gold leaf, and that's always badass. Right, and that's where I started, you know. Back in the day when I used to drive for my dad, all of our cars were black with gold leaf numbers, and so it was fun to get back to, you know, that color. Were you always going to be a sprint car driver, Andy? I don't know, you know. I think one thing led to another, and I ended up, and I didn't want to go to college, and so I just started doing it, and I don't know, I just kept on going, you know, and it ended be quite some years. When you eventually went out on the road with the Outlaws, were you like, holy cow, are we doing this? Or were you always committed to, this is what I want to do? No, actually, when we started doing it, we actually thought, are we really going to keep on?
I mean,
Yeah.
this is pretty crazy. And then, like I said, we kept on and we never quit. So.
And you had a phenomenal record for the most amount of A-mains contested consecutively, over 500. That's something to be very proud of.
Yeah, I am, and because that was before provisionals. So,
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. I wish I could say I won some of the big races, but unfortunately we never did really get to win many of the big races, and so. But yeah, that is something cool.
I mean, 30 main events, in your career. A lot of people didn't get to anywhere near that amount. So you certainly won your share of races, but like the Kings Royal, the Knoxville Nationals, all those ones that you wanted to win, they were hard to win, particularly with that big guy from Bloomington in the way.
Yeah, he was in my way a lot. And, I remember in the early years, Bobby Davis was, I ran second to him one year 7 times, and he was really going good at one time too, and so. I remember a lot of that stuff. I wish we could have won Eldora. I wish we could have won Knoxville Nationals. I think we did win the rest of them. So, the I guess now the smaller races you call them. So, but never did get to win those 2.
You know, as an Australian, Andy, open wheel was our only real connection to American racing. That was the way we found out about it in the 80s and into the 90s. And you put Broken Arrow, Oklahoma on the world map. No one outside of Oklahoma probably knew where Broken Arrow was except for you.
Well, it wasn't very big in 1980.
Yeah, I bet, yeah.
Today we're well over 100,000, so it's a pretty good sized place nowadays, but yeah, there wasn't much going on around here when we started racing.
Yeah. Your favorite track?
Eldora.
Okay, why?
I just wide open up right next to the cement was just my favorite.
Do you have a favorite guy that you raced against over the years? Is there someone that I'm not going to expect?
No, I think that's probably who I like to race against, is the ones that did respect.
Yep.
I'd have to sit down and think about it a little bit, but I mean, there is quite a few that I really like racing with, and some weren't outlaws. Even there was some in California.
Yep.
And there was some in Pennsylvania, and I really enjoyed racing with.
In that period when you were on the road, there was always, and there still is, the rivalry between Pennsylvania, Midwest, and West Coast. In your opinion, what was the toughest part of the country to visit as an outlaw?
I would say probably Chico, California, and probably Williams Grove. Just right off the top of my head, that's what I would think. When we went up in Ohio, some of those tracks were really, really slick.
Yeah.
So there's some guys up there, pretty tough racers too.
Yeah, absolutely. Were there nights where you wondered what on earth made you want to drive a sprint car? I mean, the Outlaws, it had to be brutally tough some nights.
Well, we couldn't, around here we couldn't race enough. We got to race the local race tracks, and then we had that NCRA circuit that we ran, but other than that we couldn't race enough. So if you wanted to race more, that was your only choice.
It's unfair to compare eras because it's hard to make that comparison, but man, the mid-80s through to 2000, when you were out on that road banging the highway down, what a brutally competitive era of sprint car. You take Steve out for a second, everyone else had their game together.
Yes, I agree. And I see the times now. I realize that the cars are, as a group, are much closer together. And not taking away from anybody, especially Donnie Schatz. I mean, he's great. I mean, my gosh, look at what he's done. And I think that Donnie would even say this, but back in that era, I saw Steve Kinzer do some stuff without the equipment that was impossible. So I know the argument will always be there, but it won't be there for me.
No, fair call. I mean, when you think about it, Dave Blaney was phenomenal. I mean, Sammy was phenomenal. Wolf was still getting around and rocking the place.
Absolutely.
The Wild Child was always in there. Jeff Swindell was always in there. Like, you just, like you said, So many great drivers.
There was really some good dirt drivers. Really was.
I remember too when Lance Blevins sort of blasted onto the scene as well, and he had STP on board. There was another, great Oklahoma talent. So, Shane Carson on the other end of the experience scales.
Yeah.
And now you look at, Darren Pittman, Shane Stewart, those guys, Harley White. There's so many really great Oklahoma drivers have come out of this state.
Well, there's quite a few more than.
Yeah.
And I know you mentioned.
I only mentioned just a couple, yeah.
And you got Bacon, and then you got
Yeah.
Christopher Bell, and all those guys. Every person that you just mentioned raced 10 miles up the street here.
Really?
Straight north of here.
Wow.
So that's where they all came from.
And Brady's having a heck of a year. I mean, Bell is a rare talent. I sort of put him up in the last, and if that's unfair to say, I apologise, but I think I put him up there with Kyle. But Brady's doing a hell of a job.
Good.
And you would have raced against his dad back in the day too,
Yes, I
wouldn't
did.
you?
Yeah. Yeah. Raced against his dad and his dad.
Really? You must have been just a kid, Andy.
Yeah, his dad was Leon's dad was named Ted Bacon. He raced as well out here at the local track.
Wow. You must have been just a baby then, man.
I'd like to do it all over again.
What was the toughest part about it? Was it the travel, or was it just finding the money to do it? And what was Ted like? I've got to ask you that shortly as well.
Well, having enough money to do it, and being able to maybe waste some money, if you might say that.
Yep.
That would have been nice. The other tough part was obviously the travel. I mean, in 2000, I think the year before I quit, I ran 109 races. And I don't know how many they're running today, but they ain't running that many. And so the travel, and then, I think if you ask the question about Ted, I think a lot of guys, especially my age group, I think a lot of them has changed their mind. Ted Johnson he loved it. He breathed it. He loves sprint cars, and I think people are actually, now that after he's gone, have seen that. The guy was a great friend to me.
And look, every major form of motorsport that has reached the top has had a benevolent dictator, one man at the helm. Bernie Eccleston, Bill France, they were all individuals calling the shots.
Yeah, and somebody that was actually at the racetrack and liked it.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Knoxville, it's been a while since you've been there. You had one visit, what you said, 3 years ago. And then before that, where have you been, Hillenburg?
Oh, I don't been messing with these cars, and the wife and I take a trip or two, a year, and
yep.
My kids are all grown. I got grandkids, and
Jeez.
So I'm staying plenty busy.
We're going to have a look at your cars here in a minute, but you are going back to Knoxville in this beauty, I'm guessing, right here. When are you leaving?
Oh, whenever it's not raining.
It's not going to rain, Andy, all right?
I don't know. I'll probably get out. I guess the man needs to be there by Monday if he wants to see what's going on.
It's going to be so good to have you back, mate. Let's have a look at your cars in just a sec, because you have some beauties. Here we are, the Syndicate Racing Keith Urban Suburban. Thank you very much to you, Jamie and Dan. You know we're getting close to Knoxville when Casey's General Store, baby. Let's go inside, let's get some ice cold NOS, some pizza as well. Casey's, they are of course the presenting sponsor at Knoxville Raceway. The NOS Energy Drinks Knoxville Nationals, presented by Casey's General Store. New flavors. I like this one. The sour one is very cool, because what we're looking for, which one are we going to go, Michael? There's so many choices. We haven't tried this one yet. That one looks pretty yummy. We haven't tried this one yet. So let's go with that. And because we just love this one and we already know that it rocks, so we're looking for an enhanced mental focus. That's what this gives us, and it tastes great. Casey's and Nos. So clearly your choice in cars aren't quite as fast, but they sure are pretty.
Well, thanks. We don't like headrest around here, and we don't like fuel injection around here, so that's kind of our motto. This white car is a 60 Impala. It was originally an Arizona car, and original paint, original interior. We got it here and put a new undercarriage under it, and rear end and tranny and new engine, and we kind of set it down on the ground like a stock car. And so this is our road car. Deanne and I've been all over the country in this car.
Really?
It's got air, rides as good as anything there is today on the road.
Is that right?
And, so that's our road car.
Yep.
The blue car is my oldest son, Drew. That's his car. And we got that car out of Houston, Texas from actually a good friend of ours, Steve Laney.
Okay.
And and he's done some work to it and still doing a little bit of work.
So he's got his dad's passion for beautiful cars. Yep.
This Aztec Bronze 66 Chevelle here. I've had this car 11 years, and it's kind of been a work in progress. It was mostly done when I got it.
Okay. And this is wifey's car.
Yeah, this is the yellow car. This is a 65 Super Sport Malibu.
Did you say it's butternut yellow? Is that what you said?
It is butternut yellow with white interior. It's got a 500 horsepower 410 in it, like sprint car. Got a rev limiter, and Kent Kennedy built the motor. Robin Morton, a great friend of mine, and myself built the car. Took us about 1 year and 9 months, so that was...
How hard does Dee lay on the throttle with that thing? Does she stretch it a little?
Oh, she'll run the throttle.
Yes.
She's not scared.
Love it. This thing is cherry.
This car is, I haven't done one thing to this car, this Nomad. It's a 56 Nomad. I bought it just like it is. I went to Pleasanton, California 3 years in a row trying to buy this car. And the guy's name was Ken and Cheryl Brooks, and what great people they were. I tried to, like I said, I tried to buy it for 3 years, and the final year, he gave me a handshake, and he said, "I promise when the car comes for sale, it's yours." And I thought, okay, here I am in California. What's this handshake mean?
Yep.
And he held to it, and we wound up with the car, and it's my favorite car. I love it.
The interior is just stunning, Andy.
It is. It's. I'm telling you, it's old school hot rod. It's built perfect. It's actually a beautiful car.
I know it's not the right comparison to make, but gee, it reminds me of Christine, just in the way that, you know, the movie, the Stephen King movie, just the interior, that blood red is just, oh, that sound. See, cars don't sound like that when you close the doors anymore, do they?
No.
That's just,
no, not at all.
That is gorgeous. Up on the hoist here, that classic over there in the blue shirt is from Australia. That's a 46 model, I think, or somewhere around that.
Yeah, it's a 46 model.
It's a 46 model. Compared to these two,
that's a 27 Model T. I got that from a family member.
Yep.
That was Sharon and Kay Petrick. They're relations of ours.
Yep.
We got that car from them, and thanks, and a big thank you to them, by the way.
Yeah, yeah.
This pickup that's a 53 Chevy. It's a farm truck. It's all original. It's never been messed with. It does have radial tires on it because we like to drive it around quite a bit.
Yeah, yeah.
So
look at that. That's so good. Even the tags are cool on it, mate. I like that. The paint, it's got a little bit of color in it.
yeah,
A little bit of character.
It's never been touched or never been molested. They say.
And your latest project you showed me, and you got to hold the sticker up, the decal up on the side for me, down the back.
Okay, this is back here in the back. This is a panel truck, and again a 50 Chevy. We've got it all rewired. It's all re-brake line, gas tank, gas lines, brakes. It runs. but we're gonna put some cool tires and wheels on it.
Yep.
And I think that's actually about all we're gonna do.
You're not going to drop it a little?
We might drop it a couple.
Just a little?
Yeah. And so we're gonna. This is going to go back in the day from back when I was in high school running champ cars. So this is the old sticker that's going to go.
Man, that it just looks like it. It's just like it's meant to be, mate.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
So that thing, it's going to be bitching.
And you're going to keep this fairly well as is inside too, yeah?
Yes, sir. Yep.
Yeah.
Leave her just like she is. That's how it was. Might put a new windshield in it. It'll help us see.
Well, seeing's overrated when you're driving something cool like this, right?
Yeah.
So you're a busy man these days, Andy?
Yeah, we stay pretty busy. You know,
Okay.
I mean, and fortunately, I can do it whenever I want to.
Yep.
And that's what's really what I really enjoy is I can go work for a while and then I can quit for a while or whatever.
Yeah. So you'd never get to races as a general rule?
I don't. I haven't been. I went to the drag races in Denver last year. And other than that, the only race I've been to was Knoxville 2 or 3 years ago.
Can you play piano like Shane Carson, Andy?
I cannot. I'm amazed.
Did you even know he could do that?
I can't sing, dance, or play anything. Golly, I'm jealous.
It surprised the heck out of me, I have to be honest with you. There's this big piano sitting there, and hasn't he been great for sprint car racing too, Andy?
He is great for our sport.
Yeah.
He is really great for the sport.
Yeah, absolutely.
I know. Speaking of the piano races, did you know he held or playing the piano? Did you know he used to have lobster races?
Did he really?
House? Yeah, you should ask him about it.
Really?
I better not say anymore.
It's not like the bus race or anything at Knoxville, is it? It's not. It's not completely sketchy, is it, Andy? I'm a bit worried, I have to be honest with you.
This is Rico Abreu. This is the road in Knoxville.
Hey, thanks, Rico.
No problem.
So I'm here with Drew Hillenburg, and we are in the other part of the Hillenburg Museum.
Showroom.
Yeah. Man, there's a lot of helmets in here to start with.
Yeah.
And I did notice that Rico was down there in the corner too, does he?
Yeah, that's a signed Rico poster. And thanks, Rico. That actually was a gift from Morgan McCollum. He kind of crew chiefed when I was running micros, and we've actually used Rico to scare the hell out of a lot of people. And, but yeah, all his helmets are here. And
How about this shot, mate? What can you say about the cardboard
that was
cutout?
a Christmas gift from my aunt, my dad's sister, Kimberly Hillenburg, and she came walking down the stairs with that, and we were all downstairs and just started dying laughing for probably 10 minutes.
How good is he looking to see? I mean, Mum looks smoking, but Dad looks confused, bewildered, a little uncertain, and I got to say, a little drunk. Am I close on any of those, Andy?
I'd say the majority of it.
Wow. Did you never want to race, Drew?
You know, I did. I mean, absolutely. Didn't start actually racing, you know, when I was running around during the summer with Dad on tour and stuff, you know, running around with Sheldon Honchild and Ryan Blaney and Kevin Swindell and the Kinzer kids. You know, I definitely had the bug and wanted to. He kind of kept me away from it for a little while until I turned 16, messed around with micros for a little while, had fun, but, you know, didn't have anything to take me to that next level. But I still love racing, love the sports, try to stay involved and stay up to date with everything for sure.
I mean, your dad is your dad, right? He's not Andy Hillenburg, he's Dad. But to the rest of us mere mortals, he's one of the gods, mate.
Yeah, absolutely. I've always seen him like that too. I mean, I recognize, you know, all the accomplishments he's had, and you know, even if it is, you know, sprint car racing and dirt racing, which maybe isn't a huge deal to a lot of people, maybe not, they don't know much about it, but I mean, these sprint car drivers and dirt racers are some of the most talented people on the earth, and so it was always such a cool deal for me to say that and tell my friends and tell people what my dad did. And
my dad's an outlaw.
I was very, very proud of it, and yeah, very fortunate to be able to experience some of the things I experienced.
Might be a weird thing to say to someone's son, but he's always been a cool looking rooster.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's kind of got that. I mean, apart from this photo, which is, but he always had the movie star looks of the gang. You know, he was always a suave looking guy, and he was always a bit quiet and
feathery John Travolta kind of going on.
The beard. I'm not sure about the beard, but
I don't think the beard stuck around for very long. I've never seen him. He's grown a beard a couple times, and
Mum must have liked it because it's on the wedding. It was allowed to be there at the wedding day.
Right. which I think this was probably 87, so he was kind of starting to get into the Outlaws around that time. So maybe a little Jeff Gordon with the mustache thing, trying to look a little older, maybe. I don't know.
I think Jeff's still trying to grow a mustache properly.
He could be.
Hey, it's great catching up with you, Drew. Your dad is a legend. I'm so excited to come here and check out some of the toys. And as he made the comment, the three kings over there, Mr. Petty, Mr. Presley, and Mr. Kinzer. And wow, here at the Hillenburg Shrine. And there's the Intimidator as well. So, and I'm just really not sure what to say. I don't really know what to say about that. Is what Forrest Gump would say. Thanks for your time, mate.
Yeah, absolutely. What you guys are doing is awesome. It's a lot of driving, but these interviews are really cool. And
thanks, man.
Hope everyone checks them out. I'll be sure to share it and let everyone know.
Thanks, Drew.
Yeah.
And hopefully this young lady will be able to share it for us as well. So if you wouldn't mind, honey, if you could share it for us, we'd appreciate that too. Mate, it's really great to catch up with you. I really appreciate your time, Andy. You are one of the true greats of outlaw sprint cars. I know you're not comfortable with me saying that, but screw it, you are, mate. You always had great looking gear, you're always a charismatic personality, and you're an important part of the fabric of our sport.
Well, thanks. I appreciate it. It was fun years.
Yeah, and I'm sure you've got a lot of fans out there that love that number 2 car, and you were part of an incredible era of the sport, weren't you?
Yeah, that was a great era. I'm telling you, it was a great era with the years that we did it, and a lot of fun. So
you're coming out to Knoxville, that's cool. We're going to meet some fans. I'm sure that Shane's going to drag you into the Hall of Fame and make you do some signings and meet some folks out there. And I can't wait to see the fans' reaction to seeing you there again. And
yeah, thanks. We're gonna. There's no telling. I'm sure he'll have something going up his sleeve.
I'm sure of it. Thank you so much for your time, Andy. I love your toys, man. You did say to me, I got a couple of cars in the shed, but I wasn't expecting this, I have to be honest.
Oh, thanks. I'm just glad you guys came by.
Hey, see you at the Knoxville Raceway for the NOS Energy Drink Knoxville Nationals, presented by Casey's General Stores.
All right.
At the greatest race in the world, the granddaddy of them all, the Knoxville Nationals. Thanks, Andy.
Thank you.
No more excuses. No more maybes. No more putting it off. This is the year. Be there. Sprint Car's greatest week. The 59th annual NOS Energy Drink Knoxville Nationals, August 7th through 10th. Buy your tickets now at KnoxvilleRaceway.com and check it off your bucket list.
So 2 days ago, to have breakfast at the hotel we woke up, Michael attempted to make his own waffles. Here's how it went. Here we are with the Australian trying out making the waffles here at the hotel. He's now pouring the syrup into the...
I don't know how much you put in.
I don't know either. This could go either way. We have sprinkles, we have chocolate things, sugar-free schmuckers, we have whipped cream, maple syrup. It's making sound. We're about to find out. Instructions. Typical Australian man who never reads instructions. Oh, see? You were supposed to turn it over, you idiot. We've already got the... Did you spray the premium grid conditioner on there? Did you see that? Look. 10 seconds. We're at T-minus 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and... Oh.
We could be running to the capital. We could be having waffles.
And in the morning, I'm cooking waffles. Oh, look at those, Michael. Right, we're going to capture it. Go.
They're pretty good.
Yeah?
They are pretty good.
Go well with the cranberry juice. Sweet.
And the yogurt.
So instead of risking that disaster again, I brought into the professionals, the Waffle House. Any Australians travelling in America, you've got to visit at least once a Waffle House. I don't even really know how to describe it. It's a bit like a redneck McDonald's, but the hash browns. Good luck, Michael. Yeah.
Just a little red.
Yep. So it's recording now.
Yeah.
Didn't really want to record now. First Waffle House move.
Yeah, first one, but I'm not eating waffles. I'm eating bacon and eggs.
You got hash browns, importantly, and oh yes,
That was cool.
your first biscuits and gravy.
Oh,
That is right there.
oh, okay.
Your biscuits and gravy. Thank you, ma'am.
Biscuit and gravy.
Right.
Thank you.
One of
Yeah.
those. Hook in.
What now?
Yep. American institution. Oh, he stacked it in the egg.
Well, it fell off. There's nothing. No.
Try again without dropping it in the egg.
No, it'll still happen.
Thank you. Have you tried biscuits and gravy, Michael?
No.
So we met a cowboy yesterday who's pretty tough, and he couldn't cope with Vegemite.
No.
And I'm asking the wrong person because you don't like Vegemite either.
No, I don't like Vegemite.
I ate it.
So I live in a great little town on the Murray River in Victoria called Mildura. And it's only a city of about 30,000 people, yet it has 2 speedways in it. It has a motorcycle speedway and it has a car speedway. The car speedway is B&S Earthworks Timmis Speedway. It has an amazing season. They run modified sedans, they run AMCA Nationals, wingless sprints, all-star sprint cars as well. Very, very big classes and some tremendous racing each summer. They've got an amazing season coming up. The Australian AMCA National title will be held there. The Murray Magic V8 modified class will be on there as well. Plus the mainline dynamometers, all-star sprint cars. The Mandy Searle series comes to town there as well. And the Victorian modified title is going to be an absolute belter. Plenty of great stuff coming on. Check out this really neat little speedway, B&S Earthworks Timmis Speedway in Mildura. That's all we have time for on today's program, episode 6 of the Road to Knoxville on Speed Stories. But the great news is, the next time you see us, we are at Knoxville Raceway. So the show takes a very fresh and very current perspective with some of the stars, cars, teams and families from the Knoxville Raceway area. Look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Don't forget to get onto myracepass.com for all the information, and please make sure you get to Knoxville Raceway for the final of the 360 Nationals, and of course coming up, the big Nationals week.